Thank you so much to the Autistic Self Advocacy Network for honoring me and my work with the Academic Autism Spectrum Partnership in Research and Education. But thank you even more for being a part of that partnership piece of Aspire. Our histories have grown up together over the past decade and a half, ASAN's, Aspire's, and my own as an autistic self-advocate and a scientist. I first learned about ASAN in 2006. I was a graduate student, and I was looking toward a career not in autism research, but in building robot brains. I was also new to the neurodiversity movement, though not new to fighting systemic oppression, having cut my teeth in the 80s and 90s LGBTQ+ movement. Self-advocacy and troublemaking for civil rights has very long been my bag. So at that time, in 2006, inclusive autism research was very rare, and when it was being done at all, it was not through formal community-engaged collaboration, despite those types of models having been used with other marginalized communities for decades. At that time, even getting our outsiders to believe that there was such a thing as an autistic community was near impossible. We were constantly confronting research studies that stigmatized us in their research aims, language, or interpretation, were inaccurate due to lack of understanding of the autistic population, or were even downright harmful to us in their scope or their intended outcomes. So billions of dollars were going into autism research, but no one had asked us, the actually autistic people, what questions we most urgently needed science to answer. So to address these issues, I co-founded Aspire with my long-term friend and collaborator, Christina Nicolaitis, who is a physician researcher with a focus in health equity. Our aim then, as now, was to use a community-based participatory research approach with the autistic community to address issues of systemic oppression within autism research and to conduct studies that actually autistic people wanted to have done. But to meet our aim, we needed more connection with the autistic community than just my lone self. ASAN was, back then, the only US-based self-advocate-led organization with a policy and service focus that had good synergy with our science. And I remember meeting up with Ari and Scott for the first time in person when we went together to deliver Aspire's also first ever scientific research presentation. And at the time, we didn't even have a completed research project. We had no study, we had no results, and we ended up doing this kind of awkward talk on autistic community engagement. But we actually got quite a lot of scientists thinking for the very first time about the need to include us in their work. That was a nice beginning to a partnership that still persists today. So ASAN and Aspire have really grown up together on roads both parallel and intersecting with the broader context of the autistic rights movement. In the past decade and a half, we have seen, and I would really like to think we have also played a very key role in, the move toward actually autistic inclusion in major federal research policy, such as obtaining voice on the IACC, in the move away from framing autism through a lens of deficiency stereotypes and I am autism, I eat children type awareness campaigns, and also the move into an exciting frontier of new community engaged and inclusive autism research groups that are now spreading throughout the world. Through all this, Aspire remains the first and the longest running academic autistic community-based participatory research collaborative, having obtained now multiple grants over 12 years to address healthcare, employment, and mental health, along with our work continuing to promote inclusive research methods. And last year, Christina and I were also able to launch a new academic journal, Autism in Adulthood, which includes actually autistic people as contributors, reviewers, and editorial board members. And I, as an individual, have gone from an autistic self-advocate non-scientist to the first openly autistic National Institutes of Health funded autism services researcher. I am so proud of my team in just an emotional space that's kind of beyond words for all that we have done together, from our big obvious accomplishments that you can see in publications and awards like this one, to the narrow dark spaces of mutual empowerment and support that have gotten us here. Aspire's work would not have been possible without the ongoing pressure of self-advocacy organizations like ASAN, who help us shift policy and society to make way for our research to be funded. And we too, from the science side, offer self-advocates and community organizations a more powerful set of knowledge to strengthen their advocacy. We are a feedback loop. Together we make a virtuous cycle. We have all come so far since 2006. We have done tremendous work shifting ableist systems of oppression. We have a decade plus of tangible evidence that our fight for equity and inclusion is one that, over time, we really can win. We have fought for power, and we have gained power. Let us continue to grow and to use our power for the benefit of our community. So I know that I tend to talk very big and systemsy, and I'm a systems scientist. I can't help it. But I also confess to feeling a little bit awkward of focusing on myself when nothing like what I have achieved can happen possibly in isolation. Yeah, stubborn punk rock leadership certainly helps, but ultimately we are all very interdependent on each other. It is only by working together that we can truly continue to change the world. So thank you again for honoring me and for honoring Aspire's work with this award. And I am certainly very excited for our next decade and a half together. Thank you.